Hello, good morning, my dear students. Yesterday we just started the second part, the black aeroplane. Two stories about flying. First part we completed, and the second part, the black aeroplane. In the last class, we studied. In the story, the narrator was flying to England to enjoy his holiday. He wanted to reach England in time so that he could enjoy a good English breakfast with his family. And he was flying his aeroplane at night over France to England. He was very eager to meet his family. He was dreaming of his holiday. The stars were shining in the clear sky. He could see the city Paris down below. And he called Paris control to get instructed about the way. And he was instructed to turn 12 degrees west. Everything was going well before he saw the storm clouds, and Paris was about 150 kilometers behind him. And it was natural for the narrator to panic. He knew that it was not possible to fly up and over those storm clouds. He was confused for a moment. Then, as everything was fearful at the moment, narrator decided to risk and flew into the storm. He did not want to go back to Paris. But everything went out of control. The compass as well as other instruments stopped working. See what happened. Last paragraph of page number 37. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. He could not see anything. Everything was suddenly black, happening unexpectedly. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air, twisted to bend into a shape. Just it was going to crash down. Jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I could not believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. Paris control? Paris control? Can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then, in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. He did not know even from where it came. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. From one side to the other side, he could see it very clearly, though it had no light. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and moved his hand. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. And the pilot of the black plane instructed him to follow him. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. He knows that I am lost, I thought. He's trying to help me. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north. in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. He turned his aeroplane very slowly to the north side so that he could see properly from his plane, his Dakota. Easy for him to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. The narrator followed the black aeroplane just like an obedient child. Strange aeroplane. Strange, uncommon, no information because no radio was working. Nobody said an instruction that a plane is there to help him. But unexpectedly, from nowhere it came. He did not know anything about that. He was so surprised to see that plane. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. That plane was there just before him, before the narrator, in the clouds for half an hour. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. He had a problem, not having enough fuel. Just for flying for 5 or 10 minutes, he had enough fuel in his plane. What to do? I was starting to feel frightened again, so terrified again. But then he started to go down and followed the storm, followed through the storm, followed this black aeroplane. Suddenly, I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. And it was very clear that it was a runway. Runway, you know it, way on the ground for taking off and landing of aeroplanes. An airport, I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane. He wanted to give thanks to the strange aeroplane. He looked to say thank you to the pilot. But the sky was empty. Nobody was there. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. See, I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. Was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. He thought that I was not sorry. I landed and was not sorry to walk away because as usual, he thought from the tower, from the control tower, this plane was sent by them. He thought that way. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. She did not know anything about it. They did not send any plane to help him out. She asked him, another aeroplane? Up there in this storm? No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. Radar, you know, an equipment that searches the flying objects. They have a screen. They watch in that. Accordingly, they control from the tower center, control center, they control and give instructions to turn, to which degree, to show them the directions. Then she said, no, yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? He asked. Find out who is that fellow to help me. Who helped me to arrive there safely? He only helped him to come out of that cloudy weather, clouds. Without a compass or a radio, how could I come here? How you people do not know? But I saw a black aeroplane was helping me to come out of that clouds, and without any more fuel in my tanks. I didn't have enough tanks also, but I reached safely. Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? He's still surprised, narrator, still surprised. See, it's a wonderful, it's a miracle what we can see. He did not know, the control sender did not know. Clear, a black aeroplane appeared from somewhere. When his instruments, all the instruments stopped working, he was unable to see outside the plane. When the plane was jumping and twisting in the air, tried to control Paris control but could not. He was lost in the storm. No radio connection. Suddenly he saw this black aeroplane without lights on its wing. It's not possible. It seemed strange to him, but he was glad to see another person in the storm. The pilot of another plane waved at him. That also it was very clear and signaled to follow. So he did that because he did not have any other option except it. Then he landed very safely. He flew for half an hour, which was quite strange to him, as he had fuel only for 5 or 10 minutes. He felt fearful, but suddenly he saw two bright lines in front of him. It was a runway. He was able to land safely, which gave him a sigh of relief. It was just like a miracle. He was still in that greatest surprise. The greatest surprise it was. He came out from his plane to thank the pilot of the black aeroplane, but he was shocked to see no one there. Then he went to the control tower and asked the woman about the place and the black aeroplane. Hearing his words, the woman laughed and said that there was no other aeroplane except his. It was a big surprise to the narrator. He was dumb, could not speak anything for some time. No explanation. He had no explanation for the miracle. Give thanks to God. God helped him. Clear? That is the end of this story. I'll give you the questions today. Okay, read the chapter again and again. Have a nice day. We'll give questions also. Thank you.